My name is El Tamar, and I'm the founder of two organizations. One is Top of Blockchain, another one is Women in Block. And Women in Block is an association that helps give stage to professional women in the blockchain and crypto industries, and just basically network together, exchange knowledge, exchange opportunities. It's for both women and men. The focus is on the female voice. Okay? And last month, Noah, who is one of the founders of Guan She, I'll let her speak about the organization in a bit, came to me and said, we have a delegation coming from Taiwan. One of the people is the wonderful Yani Lee, who you're going to see in a minute. And she is very knowledgeable about the local ecosystem. She was one of the people who created the local ecosystem in blockchain and crypto in Taiwan. So let's do an event. So that's the short history behind the event today. So I'll give you a quick agenda. So we're going to have sessions with Yani Lee, with Sarah Wisner, Daphne Sinai, and at the end, Ilana, how do you pronounce your name? Monkars is going to lead a really interesting networking session. You can see a lot of different cards here. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stick around. So now I'd like to invite Noah, our co-organizer, and she'll give you a few words about the organization.
Thank you. Hi guys. It's always a pleasure doing this because this is also my office on a daily basis, and it's the second event I'm hosting here this week. So first of all, I want to thank Shivi over there, amazing Shivi and Adas and Daniel and Roman, all of the team of Urban Place for hosting us, for supporting us. Thank you very much. They also had a hackathon about blockchain 2 weeks ago, so they're really important, I think, supporters of the blockchain industry here in Israel, and we love them for that. Thank you everybody. So yeah, I'll tell my story. But to make the long story short, I met Yani around 3 years ago. I was a speaker. I was the only Israeli speakers at a conference that she did called Asia BIT, different kind of BIT, B-E-A-T, not this BIT. And I was the only woman on stage. I had 3 men from this side and 3 men from that side. I think it's the first time that I was a woman speaker, and I realized that we don't have enough role models. And I was 27 at that time. And the years went by, and I realized that in order to create a network of strong women in Israel and in Asia, we have to do more. And I've been working in the Israeli ecosystem for 10 years now. And in the last few years, I'm very active in women in tech and women entrepreneurship. And I realized that with Mariana over there, hi Mariana, also one of the co-founders of Guan She, and we realized that we have to do more in order to connect this ecosystem. And in Israel, we don't have a lot of knowledge, role models, events, meetups, but also programs to connect these 2 very vibrant ecosystems. So with Yael, which is her second Women in Block event, we're very happy to host this event. This is our 6th event of Guan She. We're hosting once in a month or 2 an event. Each event is focusing on a different country and on a different vertical. So hopefully if you log into our Facebook page, Guan She, you can learn more about our activities and our events, and even to find maybe your co-founders or the network that you need. And I'm here after if you want to talk to me. And again, thank you everybody, and especially Yani for coming here tonight. It's a great pleasure, and it's a great honor to actually to have speakers from abroad. It's something very special here in Israel.
All right, thank you. So, Yani, without further ado, well, a little bit further ado, we're going to check if this is working.
Hello.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you so much for this very special opportunities to have me here. I'm so happy I have this chance to introduce myself and also introduce what I'm doing in Taiwan and also what's happening in Taiwan. Later, I would like to introduce more about what is Asia BIT and what's happening about blockchain and also the startup industry so far happening in Taiwan. Okay, so discussion.
It is a panel of one.
Okay.
No, the short story behind this is that I like to have a one-on-one talk because I feel like it's less awkward when one person is talking and the rest is nodding. So Yani,
Yes.
I understand that you're the co-founder of Asia BIT,
Yeah.
and you're also very active in community in Taiwan. You have these weekly meetups going on. Tell us a little bit about Asia BIT and about the accelerator that you're promoting.
I think all of you have already heard about the story how I met with Noah in China. Actually, I'm Chinese. I am not Chinese. About 2 or 3, I can't remember. 3 years ago, probably, I have an event called Asia Week, the BEAT, in China. That is the event I invent in Taiwan, which is the first international, English-speaking startup event in Taiwan. And then at that time, I invite all my friends from the Pan-Asia, including China, Korea, Japan, Thailand, and Singapore. We had an event together in Taiwan. And we have a deal which let's have an event together one after one, which means first time in Taiwan, and then in China, and then the third year we have an Asia in Korea. And the idea of the event is all because just like Israel, China is a very small market. It's a very small island. The market is very small, and what we have to do is to expand the markets outside of Taiwan. But in terms of the startup ecosystem, 2, 3, maybe now, the past 5 and 10 years, the ecosystem, we don't have a lot of the investors. The early stage investors. So at that time, I worked for a semi-government agency called Institute for Information Industry, and my job is to promote Taiwanese startup community ecosystem. So I spend a lot of time to lead, to grow the Taiwanese startups, to go around the Pan-Asia region, and that's why to do 2 things. One is fundraising, and the other one is business development, market entry in different countries. So all the things, I have all the things in my mind, in my soul is to help startups.
Okay.
Because it's very hard to do the fundraising. And about a year ago, last year, one of the startup came to me, which is the startup in the incubator accelerator platform. The company I work for, and he came to me, and he also introduced another investor who works in China, and we talked a while, and then conclude that let's do Asia BIT. Not the Asia BIT BEAT, but Asia BIT BIT. Because I realized that for startups, to fundraising from the traditional investors, venture capital or angel investors is not the only way for startups to raise money. They can do a lot, different way, from IPO to ICO. Especially at that time, it is about September last year.
Okay.
And it's about the time the Chinese government just forbid the ICO in
the
China.
crypto ban.
Yes.
So, but in Taiwan, crypto is legal, right?
We don't say that is legal, but it is also not illegal. It's
a gray area.
Yes.
Okay. So how many startups since you started in September? How many startups in Taiwan had an ICO?
If you say startup, I won't
Or
say
a company?
yeah, companies.
Yeah.
I'll say probably not a lot, because blockchain and also ICO just booming from this year. In Taiwan, compared to other countries, we're quite slow. I have to say that. This year, We have, I guess we have about 5 to 10
5 to 10.
dozens.
Okay.
And the first one, I mean ICO, the first one ICO just last year.
Okay.
Yes.
And what about in general the crypto ecosystem? If I stop somebody on the street in Taiwan and I tell them, do you know Bitcoin? What will they tell me? Let's say in a big city.
If you say Bitcoin, I would say people know that
Okay.
because of the news.
Because of the news. But blockchain?
Blockchain, the technology behind the Bitcoin, it depends.
Okay. And how many people would use crypto? Do you have millennials, like the type of class of individuals that they have in the States, millennials? Or in the States, everywhere, but do you know what millennials are? Millennials? People born between 1989 to about 2000, right?
1983.
1983 to about 2000, yes. Younger people, they say that in America, 25% of that population holds crypto. Or the wealthy individuals hold crypto.
I don't know the exact number, but I have to say the blockchain community, most of them are millennial, and
Yeah.
majority are male.
Okay. And how many of them would you say deal with cryptocurrency?
How many? Interesting. I don't know the exact number,
Yeah.
but I can only say the number increased rapidly this year.
Can you buy something with Bitcoin
In Taiwan?
in Taiwan?
Yes, we can.
Like
And-
where can I go shopping with my Bitcoin?
For example, there are two exchange.
Mhm.
One is my coin, and the other one is Bitcoin. They co-leverage the convenience store
Okay.
in Taiwan. We have three majors.
Yeah.
They cover the number 2 and number 3, and then they cover with the convenience store, which means everyone, if you have a willing to buy Bitcoin, you can just step into the convenience store, and then they have a machine type
Yeah.
of kiosk.
Yeah, like an ATM.
Yeah,
Where you can buy.
but that is not ATM.
Okay.
It's a kiosk,
It's a
and
kiosk.
then there's some function in the button, and you just key in some information. You can buy Bitcoin just in any of the convenience store in Taiwan. And the major two convenience store in total, I guess there's about 3,000 to 4,000 stores in Taiwan.
Where you can buy Bitcoin.
You can buy Bitcoin.
But can you go to a store anywhere or buy real estate or do other things with Bitcoin in Taiwan?
Real estate, I don't think so, but there are some, for example, restaurants, cafe, and you can also find ATM.
ATM.
Yes, in
That's
Taiwan.
nice.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. So you're saying the regulation is kind of in gray area, right? They're not really dealing with it so much. Are they taxing crypto holdings? Are you familiar with that a little bit?
You have
There's
to.
a capital gains tax.
Yes, because it is kind of a gray area, and we have a Ministry of the Economy. That is very interesting, guys, in terms of government, because I work for kind of government side. And in terms of government, there are two parties. One is kind of Ministry of the Economy Affairs. They want to promote blockchain, they want to promote Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency, because they can, booming the, people's economies. But on the other side, the Ministry of Finance, they say it's, better be secure, better to do some regulations.
Okay.
So far, that's why I say it's kind of a gray area, because there's no specific government agency who are in charge of the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But I would say that government support blockchain technologies.
Okay,
Yes.
nice.
Yes. For example, there's an event called GEC Plus.
Right.
Yeah, this event is supported by the government, and I don't know if anyone know GEN, which is the Global Entrepreneur Network, which is a global size.
Okay.
And the event just held last month, and one of the track is blockchain.
Okay. That's
Yes.
interesting. So,
Yes.
you know, in Israel, we have the Chief Scientist Office, which is an office dedicated to providing R&D grants to startups. And blockchain as a technology, blockchain technology startups have gotten quite a few grants for
Specific for blockchain tech
specifically.
startups.
Yes. Well, they're not specific for blockchain, but blockchain is one of the categories that is being considered.
Yes.
Is there anything similar in Taiwan?
Yes. Yeah, there's a one. Yeah, because this time I came with the Taiwan delegation. One of the delegation member is government official, and the one who in charge of the startup industry. And there is a brand new program called Startup Terrace, and in the Startup Terrace program, they encourage one of the topics is blockchain, which means they not just only support blockchain startups, they have grants for startup to apply, and also because the Startup Terrace, the purpose of that is to create a startup cluster in Taiwan, which is we call Linko, which is kind of a half hour from Taipei City, and there is a specific regulation. That's not anyway. They have a sandbox, which means you can do some trial in this area to do some POC, to do some experiments, even the payment side, which is more sensitive.
Okay.
So I would say, right now in Taiwan, I would say if you are interested in Asian markets, most of the startups, doing blockchain, I know they will go. If they want to come to Asia, they'll go to Singapore because
Or Korea. South
or
Korea.
Korea. But I'll say Taiwan probably will be your another options.
Okay. Why? Why is Taiwan
Yeah,
a
because
good option for,
Yes.
let's say, Israeli startups?
yes, just like I just mentioned, the regulation is still at a gray area, but it's great. But I would say it's brighter. Not the darker side, but side of.
It actually came out in the news that the government is planning to regulate. I saw 2 days ago that the Taiwanese government is planning to regulate, but they're very optimistic. I was actually going to ask you about that, but you're very busy in Israel, so I'm not sure if you watch the news from back in Taiwan. But
Because I also asked the government official several days ago because he was with us, and then he said only one thing you have to avoid, which is money laundering.
Yes.
Aside that, everything is.
yeah, that's exactly what they said in the news, that you have to solve. Well, that part in Israel is one of the strongest. The local technology ecosystem, the security is very highly developed. So I'm sure we can introduce you to, and your government officials, to several companies that can help work out the AML aspect, anti-money laundering, as well as the KYC, know your customer, so that you can offer,
Yes.
and also, in terms of regulation, Israel is one of the more developed countries in terms of regulatory framework. So I'm sure that there is a way to facilitate some sort of a relationship between the two. Many countries are actually coming here. Switzerland has a regulatory partnership with Israel for that purpose. And
For the
regulatory framework, regulatory and taxation framework, exchanging, and for financial services as well. So to collaborate between the two countries to provide financial services for the crypto industry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
there any banks in Taiwan that are servicing crypto startups or blockchain startups?
Yes, but just one.
Just one. That's a good start. In Israel, we have zero. Zero
Okay.
banks.
Okay, just one.
Banks are
Only
very
one.
afraid. Actually, the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, a few months ago said that banks will not exist. Whether it's going to be Bitcoin or something else, but something's going to replace the banks. So that was I'm pretty sure that's not the official position of the Israeli government, but that's kind of where things stand from, a colloquial or anecdotal standpoint. So what do you think is going to happen in Taiwan? Are we going to see a big crypto nation coming out?
Personally, I'm positively, to have an positive attitude to these things, because I believe change. I believe blockchain will be the next wave, the next wave of technology to change the life, we daily life. So, and also currently, Taiwan economy is not as good as before, and we do need change. So I do believe that governments will do to make the regulation clearly next year, especially there is a congressman who promotes blockchain and cryptocurrency very very strongly. He even have he spread around the world to promote Taiwan, saying that Taiwan can be the crypto nation.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Let's hope for that.
yes, we have a very we have a very strong people to promote this, and we have a government who are still positive to look at these things. And start ecosystem right now, blockchain industry right now is booming very fast this year. So I can see next year, I cannot imagine what will be look like. What it look like.
Well, we kind of will slow down, but let's hope it's going to
Okay.
grow back up. The last question, what are you looking for here in Israel? And what can we do together?
Just like you just mentioned, for blockchain, we are still very slow and very new to the blockchain industry. But still, we are positively looking at these new opportunities and technologies. So, for myself, I'm doing the blockchain community in Taiwan, which is Asia based. My purpose of doing this, I wanted to not just fundraising things, but I wanted to promote blockchain technologies, because the developers of the blockchain technology is still not enough. But I would say the developers, these kind of talents in Taiwan is a lot, because we are kind of a tech. Myself, I'm an engineer actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but
Software?
yeah, software engineer. Yeah. So I would say that the purpose of myself in this time to Israel, I want to find some collaborations or opportunities between Taiwan and Israel, and we can we can try to find out a way to make things go furthermore.
Okay.
That is the thing I'm looking for.
That's very good. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yani. Would you like to introduce your colleague who will come and give us a quick overview?
I want to introduce my friend, Jill, who is the general manager of the surgery in Taiwan, and he is doing the
Thank you so much. Although I'm also quite new for Bitcoin and blockchain, but I learned a lot from my trip here. And I'm currently running an accelerator in Taiwan, and we are looking for B2C solutions. So that's one of the reasons we are here this trip and want to attract startups who want to explore Asia market or specifically Taiwan market, and we will be the point they can approach, and then we can help to see what are the opportunities there in Taiwan. So that is about me. Thank you.
Thanks.